The Detroit Pistons may not be very good this year, but they are setting themselves up perfectly in the long run. Today, that's what we're going to be talking about, is the way that this Pistons team has built up a great young core around their guard duo of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, which we got to see very little of last year due to the fact that Cade went down after the first 20 games. They did a great job this offseason bringing in guys like Azar Thompson, Marcus Sasser, both first rounders that could have a big impact next year. Monte Morris was a great trade, and then Joe Harris brings another veteran shooter. So we're going to be talking all about the Detroit Pistons today. So with that being said, make sure you stick around for the full video because we're talking all things Detroit basketball. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below, as it really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and get started. But first, if you're not subscribed to the channel, there is a 97% chance that you are not. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications. This is the place you want to be if you are an NBA basketball fan. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and get started looking at the draft, looking at Azar Thompson. And like I said, he is super intriguing because the upside is there. This was one of the best draft classes in recent memory. I don't know if we're going to see him play small forward. I don't know if we're going to see him play shooting guard. I don't know if we're going to see him play point guard, because his passing was a little bit underrated due to the fact that Amin was always the point guard, but he has shown very good signs of playmaking. He's got ideal length, height, athleticism. The big question, can he develop a jump shot? If he can develop a jump shot, like we see right here, and this was 2 seasons ago, if he can develop a jumper, this man will be absolutely nasty in the NBA. If he can't, then I guess he's just going to be another role player. But if he can develop a jump shot, you're going to be looking at a top 25 player in the NBA down the line, I feel like. And then you also have Marcus Sasser, who is a tough shot maker. He showcased that both at Houston and in his 40-point explosion in the Summer League. 16.8 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, 2.8 assists a night, and he wasn't really having the best Summer League in the world until that 40 bomb. As a matter of fact, he was having a pretty rough Summer League, but 44% from the field, 39% from 3, 85% from the line. He's a very good shooter. He's got an NBA, got a pro scoring bag, and I think he can help out this Pistons team. Maybe not from year one, because they have a lot of guard depth now with Monte Morris, Killian Hayes behind Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. But down the line, I think Marcus Sasser could be a big-time help. Speaking of Monte Morris, looking at the trades that the Pistons did this offseason, Monte Morris is an elite-level backup point guard. Now, people are saying, don't forget about Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is still good. Why are you hating on him for no reason? This man is just flat-out better. 10.3 points, 5.7 assists, 3.4 rebounds. He might not be as good as Killian defensively. He's solid defensively. Maybe not as good as Killian. Killian is an elite defender. But on offense, I mean, he is so far ahead of Killian Hayes. It's not even funny. 48% from the field, 38% from 3, 0.8 steals. Killian's just allergic to scoring. I do think they keep Killian Hayes around, but Monte Morris will be the backup point guard. 26 minutes per game, 1 turnover. You see that right there. The assist-to-turnover ratio very high. Another thing you got to keep in mind. I'm feeling like Monte Morris, Tyus Jones, those are the 2 best backup point guards in the league right now. I could be forgetting somebody, but those are my guys right there. And then they also bring in Joe Harris, who is a veteran shooter, to help out Cade, to help out Jaden Ivey in terms of floor spacing. Now, he only averaged 7.6 points, 2 rebounds, and 1.4 assists, which may not pop off the screen at you, but he's a guy that can spread the floor. 47% from the field, 43% from 3 on 4.5 3-point attempts a game. And he's also a guy that you can come into the locker room and provide a good veteran presence. He only played 21 minutes a game last year, so that's why some of those numbers were, down a little bit. But Joe Harris is another guy. I think both of those trades can really help them out in the long run. And then they got to decide here between the big men. If they keep all 4, I wouldn't hate that, but you're definitely keeping Jalen Duren, who averaged 9.1 points, 8.9 rebounds in his rookie year. And I made the comment last Pistons video that I'd take Mark Williams over him. People are a little upset about that, but hey, if you want to debate about that, go down in the comment section right now. I'll hit you back. 65% from the field, 25 minutes per game for Jalen Duren last year. In what was, like I said, a very solid rookie year. An assist, a block, and 0.7 steals in limited minutes due to the fact that he was a rookie. And then Isaiah Stewart be stewed down in the paint. Another big guy, 11.3 points and 8.1 rebounds Stewart, Bagley, and Wiseman all basically have the same numbers. It's kind of crazy in the same minutes. So we'll see what happens there with that rotation. But Isaiah actually shot 4 3-pointers a game, which is promising that he is trying to move his game out beyond the arc. 33% from 3 is not exceptional by any means, but at least he's trying. 0.7 blocks and 1.4 assists there for Isaiah Stewart in 28 minutes per game. Now, these are the guys that we're kind of on the fringe about. Do you want to keep them or do you want to move them while their value is still somewhat high? James Wiseman, who they brought in at the deadline, I still do not understand why they traded Saddiq Bey for James Wiseman. That makes zero sense to me, a team that desperately needs wing depth. But Wiseman averaged 12.7 points and 8.1 rebounds last year while he was a Piston. 24 minutes per game, 53% from the field. I was shocked that he didn't fit on the Warriors. I thought that was going to be, a match made in heaven. Turns out Kevon Looney took his minutes. Marvin Bagley, 12 points a game, 6.4 rebounds for him. Another guy, they recently extended him 3 years, about $35 million, so now he's down to 2 years. But 24 minutes a game, 53% from the field, almost identical to James Wiseman, like I said. And then another logjam they have log jams at the point guard spot and at the big man spot, but, not really a logjam at big man. You got 4, so you can run them in a rotation. But, these 5 guys right here are competing for 2 spots. So one guy's going to be the odd man out. In my opinion, it's probably going to be Marcus Sasser. He will probably be the backup. I don't even know. Probably in the G League. Alec Burks is going to be the backup 2. So Killian and Monte Morris are going to be battling it out for the backup 1. And like I said, Monte Morris is going to win that battle all day long. Looking at the starting lineups here, I said this in the last video and people kind of agreed with me. You don't draft somebody in the top 5 and then sit him on the bench unless you're the Houston Rockets for some reason and you want to go out and pay somebody $130 million to start instead of your number 4 overall draft pick. So in this case, we've got Cade and Jaden Ivey. I think that's going to be a very fun backcourt. They seem to complement each other very well. Cade, very good passer. Ivey, a very, very good slasher. Can finish around the rim well. Lazar Thompson, super good athlete, can really defend. And like we said, Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren will be that starting front court, excuse me. Hopefully Isaiah Stewart can work on his floor spacing a little bit because right now the spacing with this lineup is horrendous. Maybe you do start Bojan just for that fact to get the spacing a little bit better. Now, taking a look at the bench, we got Monte Morris, Joe Harris, Bojan Bogdanovic, Marvin Bagley, and James Wiseman. You also have a guy like Alec Burks that can come in. I could very well see Alec Burks being the backup 2 instead of Joe Harris. As a matter of fact, I think that's probably what they will do. But, Joe Harris, you got to show him on here just because he was one of the acquisitions they made. Pistons fans, let me know, are y'all fine with that backup front court of Wiseman and Bagley? I'm not too sure what to think of it. But Bojan at the backup 3, that is very solid. He's going to be a really, really solid 6th man. Monte Morris will probably be the 7th man off the bench. And then you get some combination of Wiseman, Bagley, and Alec Burks. Now looking at who else you have, Isaiah Livers. He can still give you some offense. So, there's a lot of depth here in Detroit for sure because Alec Burks isn't even pictured here. Killian Hayes, Isaiah Livers, and Burks, that's probably your 13 guys that you're going to be playing on a consistent basis. Killian, we'll see. Hopefully he can get his offense up. Isaiah Livers is going to be a good rotation piece. And then, like we said, Marcus Sasser probably spending a majority of the season in the G League. Now, that being said, let me know your thoughts on the Pistons next year. I think this is a team that, they're probably not going to make the play-in, but I feel like they could surprise some people and really show some bright glimpses into the future. So with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to the like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. Turn on those post notifications and make sure to come back later for more content. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.